Hello everyone, welcome to Ian's Bricks. I'm Ian. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2023 LEGO retirement list that's just been updated, the March edition that's been updated by Brickfanatics. I'll leave a link to their full list in my description. I just want to go through a few of the themes on that list because we've had quite a few sets being removed from the lists for March of 2023. So first of all we'll get into Star Wars. So here's the full list of all the Star Wars sets that are potentially going to be retiring at the end of 2023. I'll leave it on the screen a second so you can pause it if you want to have a full look at that. Few sets I wanted to talk about. So some of my sets, my favourite sets that I would probably want to be buying quite a few of for LEGO investing will be 40539 Ahsoka Tano brickheads, 75342 the Republic fighter tank, and 75343 the Dark Trooper helmet. But I have to say most of the items on the Star Wars list, they're all potentially quite good for LEGO investing. Star Wars stuff tends to do quite well. There's not really any complete duds on there, one or two that you might want to think about, but certainly a lot of decent stuff on there. But one thing that has been taken off the list for this year is set 40615. It's the Tusken Raider brickhead. Now unfortunately I have already bought 2 or 3 of these, which is going to happen when you're in LEGO investing. You're always going to buy things a little bit early. Maybe I was a little bit early on those, buying those because they only came out this year, but apparently they are now not retiring at the end of 2023. So if you bought some of those so far, then like me, then you're going to have to wait a little bit longer maybe until you sell those. Next I'll show you the Harry Potter list. No major changes at all on this list. There's quite a lot of decent sets in there. I've not really singled out any particular individual sets that could potentially do better than others, but there's a lot of good stuff on there again with Harry Potter. I do like investing in LEGO Harry Potter, so I think a lot of these sets potentially could do quite well once they retire. Looking at the actual brickheads themselves, obviously we'd already talked about the Tusken Raider, but here is a full list of all of the Disney, all the brickheads, that are retiring at the end of this year. Some half-decent sets on there, some quite decent things which I'll be sort of invested in. Again, I've not really singled any out because I do like to buy quite a lot of brickheads, but some sets that won't be retiring at the end of this year are the 3 Disney and the 3 Lord of the Rings sets that have only just been released at the start of 2023. That does include the fabulous Wall-E set, which won't be retiring now, along with the other 2 Disney sets, as well as all 3 of the Lord of the Rings sets. So none of those will be retiring. Again, I've bought a few of these already, probably been buying them a little bit early, but they're quite nice sets anyway. They're quite small, so it's not too much of a problem. I'll just have to hang on to those sets a little bit longer. From the Creator range, here's the full list here. Some half-decent sets on here. Creator 3-in-1s particularly don't do that well in my opinion, but there's always 1 or 2 decent sets. And in my opinion from the list, 31132, the Viking ship, and 40461, the Tulips, are 2 sets that potentially could be quite sought after once they retire from this list. Here's the full list. You can sort of make your own decisions as to which sets you like and which you don't like. But yeah, a couple of sets there which I particularly think might do quite well. One set from the Creator range which isn't retiring is the Taxi 40468. Not quite sure why this one's been removed from the list. It's just a small set, nothing particularly special. I don't own any of these, but it's just one small change that they had to that particular list. Here is a list of the icon sets that will be retiring at the end of 2023 potentially. There's no changes to this list from the February 23 list that I sort of did a video about at the beginning of February 23. Again, a lot of decent sets on this list. The 2 of my favourites of all of these sets probably are 10497, the Galaxy Explorer, and 76989, the Horizon Tallneck. I do like both of those sets. I've bought both of those quite recently. They are looking still on that list, so hopefully they'll still retire, and I might hopefully get a few more of those by the end of this year before they retire. The Ideas sets, again, there's no change to this list. There's only 4 sets on this list at the moment, and they're all generally, 3 of the 4 are actually quite decent. 2132 2125 The Medieval Blacksmith, 21326 Winnie the Pooh, and 21331 Sonic the Hedgehog. All three of those sets potentially could do very, very well once they retire at the end of 2023. So they're all still on the list at the moment. I think I've got at least one each of all of those, so I've already started investing in those sets. One set to avoid though would be the Table Football, 21337. I think this is probably still discounted on Lego.com at the moment. This is just a no-brainer for me not to buy this one. It's overpriced, it's not popular, and it's not a set that will do particularly well. I think the only thing you can make money from this particular set is maybe if you've got a Bricklink store, which I don't have. But other than that, if you're buying it as a seal set to invest in, I would probably avoid this one at all costs. Here's the Marvel list. Quite a lot of Marvel sets retiring at the end of this year. Again, I'll leave the video on a second so you can pause it if you want to have a good look at that. But three of my favourite sets even from this particular list, which could potentially do quite well at the end of the year, is 76187 Venom, 76193 The Guardian Ship, and 76208 The Goat Boat. The Venom is just one of the heads, one of the helmets. They tend to do quite well, even though that's readily available in a lot of places. Again, once it retires, it should still do quite well. The Guardian Ship is just a great looking set, especially if you can get it reduced, as is the Goat Boat. I think that'll be very, very popular as well. But apparently one set that isn't now retiring, a set that I had not really looked at before, but it's 76254, the Baby Rocket Ship. So if you bought any of those for Lego investment, I'm afraid that won't be retiring now at the end of 2023. One seasonal set which also won't be tiring is 40499, that's Santa's Sleigh. I actually picked up a few of these after Christmas for a slightly reduced price, but unfortunately that now isn't scheduled to retire at the end of 2023. Going to have to wait a little bit longer if you bought some of those. There are quite a few city sets retiring at the end of 2023, and one of them that I bought recently was 60335, the train station. Unfortunately, this is now not retiring at the end of 2023. Slight disappointment, but I don't mind too much because it's still a nice set. I actually picked this up in the Lego store recently when there was a promotion to get the Bionicle set gift with purchase for free. So although I did get myself a train station, they're quite expensive at $69.99. That isn't now retiring, so I am going to have to hang on to that set for a little bit longer now. And then the final one I want to talk about is Speed Champions. Again, here is the full list of all the Speed Champion sets that potentially will be retiring at the end of 2023. A lot of these are actually quite good, and I do like Speed Champions as a theme to invest in. I think the sets do very, very well. My three favourites, I think, of all of these sets, which are all pretty good anyway, but my three favourites are 76906, the 1970 Ferrari, 76911, the 007 Aston Martin, and 76912, the Fast and Furious 1970 Dodge Charger. But that's all of the sets I wanted to talk about for now. I hope you enjoyed me going through this particular list. Just a little bit of an update really. There's going to be updates like this every month from Brickfanatics. Do have a check out of their website because they have a full comprehensive list of all the sets of all the different themes. Quite a lot of themes I haven't talked about here just because I didn't want to make the video too long, but hopefully for now that's been able to update you a little bit on what some of the changes are for the March 2023 list. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, take care. Bye for now.